Trying to get to 99 in Diablo 2 Resurrected is one of those challenges that you, as a Demon Slayer, can attempt to achieve. Now, in the past, one of the only ways to get to 99 was either killing Diablo, Neelathak, or Baal and getting experience from them because they were the only monsters, literally the only 3 monsters in the entire game that would give you any meaningful amount of experience. That is no longer the case now with the introduction of Terror Zones. Because these zones raise in level based upon your character's level, the monsters in that area can be close enough in level to you that you'll get a ton of experience from them. So no longer do you just have to spam farm Diablo over and over again in order to eventually just grind your way to 99. Now, this may be common knowledge to a lot of you, but you can't always pick and choose your terror zones. Sometimes you got to cut the grass. Sometimes you got to take the kids to T-ball, and you can't hit those perfectly good terror zones. Instead, you're left with these spectacular specimens: the Swampy Pit, the Great Marsh, the Crystalline Passage. But really, what should we be doing in this case? Should we go out and run those completely garbo terror zones? Should we just hit a normal Chaos Sanctuary? What do you get experience-wise when you do these types of things? That's the kind of thought I had while I was on stream. Let's find out. Now, with these bad terror zones, man, what are we going to do here? I kind of decided, let's just hop into the Chaos Sanctuary. I always knew the old adage, hey, you don't get any meaningful experience in the Chaos Sanctuary because the monsters are too low level, but you do get more experience from the actual Diablo kill when you are super high level. So I hop in the Chaos Sanctuary, but at a time, I had a thought, hey, how much experience are you actually getting from clearing all of these monsters in the Chaos Sanctuary on Players 8? So this one's pretty straightforward. I went ahead and wrote down the exact experience I had before going out in this Players 8 Chaos Sanctuary. Now it was 3,269,540,203. Really, the huge billions and millions for this particular instance right here isn't going to matter. Just remember the 540,203. So I proceeded to hop in, clear the entire Chaos Sanctuary. And actually, before I hit the Diablo kill, I went ahead and marked down how much experience I had. The new number was 571,834. Now this comes down to roughly 31,000 total experience from killing every single monster in the Chaos Sanctuary. And remember, this isn't Players 1. This is Players 8 difficulty. So the most experience you get from here. Now, just to put that number into context, I went ahead and killed Diablo and then went ahead and looked again at my experience. After the Diablo kill, I had 625,894. So from just the Diablo kill, I got around, roughly anyways, 54,000 experience from clearing the entire Chaos Sanctuary. I only got 31,000. So I've actually never took a look at this myself. I've never seen the numbers actually explained out to me. But this is exactly why when you'd see people try to get to 99 before Terror Zones existed, they would just spam farm Diablo over and over again, not even worry about killing the monsters in the Chaos Sanctuary. They'd either seal pop or have someone go ahead of them and clear the Chaos Sanctuary or seal pop it for them and then take out a Diablo. Because you actually got not quite, but darn near getting close to almost double the experience from just Diablo than you would from clearing the entire Chaos Sanctuary. Alrighty, but what if there are one of these, well, bad Terror Zones? Let's take a look at, we're going to compare it to Terror Zone Glacial Trail. Now, in my experience, I would usually not ever run this. I don't really ever hear of anybody wanting to run it. If it's your favorite Terror Zone, feel free to hammer it in the comments, but I'm going to doubt it. But even with this kind of not the greatest Terror Zone, how can we kind of compare the experience here? And this is from my path to 98 to 99. At the beginning of this particular run, I had 3,271,580,624. And the important part here, the roughly around 1,580,000. That's kind of the important part to take a look at right here. And that's already a good sign if I'm warning you of that. Now we clear this entire Terror Zone. And I will mention it took roughly, I didn't time them exactly, but it appeared to take roughly the same amount of time as it took to clear an entire Chaos Sanctuary. Now do remember the entire Chaos Sanctuary gave me 31,000 experience. And then even if you add in the Diablo kill, it was less than 60,000 experience. Now, at the end of this Glacial Trail Terrorized run, we're going to leave off the billions and the 100 millions and the 10 millions because it's not that important. But for the last part, the important numbers, 2,305,366. Now, this number comes out to roughly 725,000 experience. Now, even with this being what most people would consider a no-go zone, you still get 10x the amount of experience in about the same amount of time. It's so much more experience even in a terrible Terror Zone like this. But now for the ultimate 1-to-1 comparison, just after that Terror Zone, the whole reason I was kind of hopping on the play at that time, there was Terrorized Chaos coming up right now. Now for the start of these Terrorized Chaos runs, we had 3,280,238,743 experience. So we went around slapping every single monster in the Chaos Sanctuary. Of course, this whole time we're picking up good drops and stuff along the way too. Chaos Sanctuary, whether terrorized or not, a great place to find runes bases, all kinds of stuff. But on top of that, being terrorized here on our trip from 98 to 99, when we finally ended up, we had 3,281,886,951 experience. So I fully whipped out the calculator on this one, and we have 1,648,000 experience from one singular terrorized Chaos Sanctuary run. Now, just for comparison, remember the normal Chaos Sanctuary, we had roughly around 54,000 total experience. Now, I really like these type of examples where you're really out there in the game, slaying the demons and really seeing exactly what is happening. But some people are more of the numbers people. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual game mechanics of what's going on. Now, first off, we're taking a look right here. There's actually an experience penalty for every level that you're above level 70. So let's say hypothetically, once you do get to level 70, you're only getting 95% of the total experience of the monsters that you would normally get. But as you see, as you get higher and higher, you get up in the 90s. Level 90 is only 5%. Level 98, that's a 0.5%, fellas. I don't need to tell you, that's not many percents. Now, there's actually even another penalty. If the monsters are too far away from the level that your character is, you actually receive even less experience. So right here, 1 to 5 higher or down to 5 levels under your character, you receive 100% right here. And then it starts to change no matter which way you go. See, if you get to level 6 up here, there's 6 levels higher than you. You're still getting 88%, 7, 8, 9. You get the picture. So if they're too high level, this is something they implemented originally, I'm assuming, in order to combat people just getting rushed through and getting a bazillion, gagillion experience when they're only like level 3 after they got rushed through normal nightmare and hell difficulty. But then it also works the other way. So if the monsters are like 10 levels under you, you're only getting 5% of the experience. Now, if you're like level 98, there's almost no monsters in the game that are within 10 levels of you, except for those 3 we mentioned at the start, Diablo, Neolithek, and Bale. Now, areas like the Chaos Sanctuary are 85 areas, so the monsters will be level 85, but the elites, I believe it is, can be 2 levels higher than you, and the champions are 1. Maybe it's flipped vice versa, whatever. So then the monsters are level 87. That's more than 10 levels under you. So you're only getting like 5% of the experience from those monsters. And then if you are level 95, 96, 97, that's all of these ones right over here where you're only getting like 1% or 0.5% of even that experience. But this is obviously not the case once you switch to Terror Zones. Once you switch to Terror Zones, boom, the monsters are going to be right here. They're going to be right around the same level as your character, so you're going to be getting 100% of the experience. That's why nowadays, with these changes, with the way Terror Zones are, it's way easier to get to 99. And I'll be honest, the old way wasn't great, and probably with Terror Zones, I'd have to say this is a way better way to get up to that max level. Now, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Peace out, fellas, and keep slaying.